A partir do surgimento da sétima arte, as produções audiovisuais percorreram um grande caminho desde os primeiros filmes onde cada quadro era pintado manualmente até a atualidade, onde os limites das histórias são a nossa criatividade. Devemos sempre pensar em novas formas de contar histórias e buscar cada vez mais tirar a audiência de seu clássico papel de espectador e fazê-los se tornarem personagens, tornando parte de cada história.
Almost all movies and television are what I call a third-person medium. The audience is a third-person, non-participating, non-involved voyeur who is watching something else happen. They watch somebody kill somebody else, someone kiss someone else, someone chase someone else, someone discover something. It started, way back around the turn of the century with the first motion pictures. A language emerged that you could change the camera angle and people would go with a cut. If you cut from this angle to that angle, or to a close-up, people would intuitively understand that that's what they were supposed to be looking at. And that became a cinematic language that I would call third person, because the presence of the camera is not acknowledged. It's not happening directly to the audience. I was 23 years old when I started working with Stanley Kubrick. I was a science fiction buff and my art portfolio was filled with spaceships and alien planets, and so that got me a job working for Stanley Kubrick on 2001. Kubrick is making this movie, and he felt the responsibility to create a kind of epic, like How the West Was Won or Lawrence of Arabia. And so he started moving away from the normal conventions of melodrama and stripping away a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the story and even a lot of the plot in exchange for this immersive experience for the audience to feel like they were on this voyage with the cast and they were actually going into space, not just the characters. Some transition through time and space in the Stargate, for instance. The thing that anybody would do was an over-the-shoulder shot of Keir Dullea in the foreground of the Stargate out the window, or a shot over the shoulder of the pod moving through the Stargate, or a reverse angle in the Stargate of the pod approaching the camera. Those are all the standard shots any director would put into a movie. Kubrick realized that they forced the audience out of the movie. He said, I'm not going to use those shots at all. I'm going to stay with the point of view. So the audience becomes Keir Dullea. The audience is going on this adventure themselves. That was his conscious decision to do that. And so things start happening directly to the audience. It's a direct line of sight point of view throughout 17 minutes of uninterrupted visual effects at the end of 2001. That's where Kubrick profoundly affected me in terms of what could be the future of, or a future of cinema, an immersive art form, where the director has to consciously decide to allow the audience to participate and be present in this situation.
A realidade como conhecemos é algo facilmente mutável. A maneira como interpretamos e compreendemos o mundo à nossa volta é muito singular para cada indivíduo. Cada um tem uma perspectiva única, e isso só mostra como a tecnologia pode facilmente enganar nossos sentidos e nos fazer sentir parte de uma realidade completamente diferente da cotidiana.
You wanted to know what the Matrix is, Neo? Trinity. Try to relax. will feel a little weird. This is the construct. It's our loading program. We can load anything from clothing to equipment, weapons, training simulations, anything we need.
Right now, we're inside a computer program?
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. This is the world that you know.
I almost forgot. In order to successfully bring Biff back to our time period, it is necessary to accelerate up to 88 miles per hour and bump...
One of the most exciting opportunities I had as a filmmaker was the Back to the Future ride, which was completely unique in the sense that it was only 4 minutes long. It was extremely intense, kinesthetically intense. You're in a DeLorean car, like a flight simulator, being propelled into the movie. You're actually becoming a part of the movie. The shocking thing to me was that it was never reviewed or considered by the film industry as a leap of cinematic potential. It was just dismissed as a theme park attraction, and no one ever really wanted to know how I did it or why we did it or how we went around making camera moves that would create kinesthetic stimulation. And it was kind of disturbing to me to find out that the cinema industry, the movie industry, the television industry really just didn't want to change.
O futuro do cinema ainda não está escrito. Podemos ir a um cinema completamente diferente do que conhecemos hoje daqui a 20 anos, ou podemos presenciar poucas mudanças. A tecnologia para isso ainda não está aqui, mas com certeza estamos cada vez mais perto.
And welcome to this virtual production vlog. Today is a little bit different. We're going to try to shoot this whole thing in one take in mixed reality. So the camera you're looking at right now is a Blackmagic camera, and we are compositing it and tracking it live in Unreal Engine. I'm going to be showing my virtual camera demo in mixed reality as well, and we're actually going to be looking at what this light is doing here at the same time. So let's get started. I'm going to walk over here to the virtual camera. We're going to check out what's going on. So I'm going to hit record. And I'm rolling on this camera now, and you'll see that as I'm tracking back and forth, or panning back and forth, we are tracking, and I'm basically shooting a virtual camera of the scene that you're looking at right now. And what's cool is that we actually have this light now that is keying her. It's actually being tracked from that light there. So as I walk into this scene, not only is Shinbi here being lit by this light, but I'm also being lit by the light at the same time. So we're doing lighting in the real world and the CG world at the same time. We're doing camera in the real world and the CG world at the same time. That is the point of this demo and what I was working on this week. So I'm going to move this light now, and I'm going to move it over here like this, and you can see the light changing on her like this. So this is more of a frontal angle, maybe back this way a little bit. So I have placed the light, and I can pan it off this way. And you can see it takes the light off of her, the light's back on her, and panning it this way, same thing. So we're definitely tracking the light in the CG world, and as you can imagine, as I step in front of it, I'm still being lit by the real world light at the same time. So what we're trying to do here is match a real world light to a CG light so that I match her. I'm not saying this is the perfect match, it's kind of a proof of concept, and we're also matching a CG camera to the real camera, hence why it even remotely looks close, like I'm in the same world as her. We're not calibrated at all very well to the lens or anything like that, but roughly that's the part of this demo that we're trying to show. So I moved the key light,